Welcome to Just Cook It Radio, where delicious recipes and real cooking lead to amazing dishes. We cook, you listen. It works. With your hosts, Chef Mario Pareca and Bill Alexander.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are listening to Just Cook It on your local station, 590 Radio WMBS, and also the Just Cook It Radio Network, and on FCTV, Channel 77, and at JustCookIt.tv. I am Mario Pareca. Bill Alexander's here.
I miss the days when we were just on radio, because setting up for TV is getting difficult every week. I mean,
well, not difficult, just there's a lot of working parts.
And not only that, but the studio keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller week after week.
Mike exactly had some comments.
The walls are closing in, guys.
Yes,
I've realized
that.
this. Yes, it's no fun.
The more we do, the more less space there is. But there's a reason that we're doing so much this week. Tomorrow's Super Bowl Sunday.
And I'm bummed. I thought we were doing Groundhog's Day. I really was.
Well, what's a bigger event? Super Bowl Sunday, Groundhog's Day.
Excuse me, I don't care who's in the Super Bowl.
Well, did you know that the Super Bowl is the second biggest food day in the United States? Mm-hmm. Only to Thanksgiving.
Sounds about right.
Do you guys have big plans?
I'm working Monday morning, so I'm not really.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel you. I think
I'll be in Mars in the morning for breakfast, then I'll be back home and probably doing absolutely nothing the rest of the day.
Couple Shiner beers.
Yeah,
Oof, game on.
Yeah. That's about it. Hey, something real quick, as I have my Just Cook It bracelet on, and I have the old Mario Cooks ones on.
Oh, there you go.
The old Mario Cooks glow in the dark, which is really cool. I was thinking about it, and I do a lot of thinking in the car, no matter where I'm going. And I think we need to get bracelets made that say, "What would Mario do?"
Oh my.
WWMD.
Yeah.
So that way, if you're cooking in the kitchen and something goes wrong, you can look down at your bracelet going, "What would Mario do?"
That's a good idea.
I mean, don't you think that's a great tie-in to the program?
I think it is. Would Mike Sackley wear one? Is the question.
You have to have an electronic companion with it that has recipes on like a watch type of deal.
But the thing is you could have your tablet or your laptop with you in the kitchen, and you could scroll through it real quick.
It's like the Beth, and you push a button, it goes right to my face. Did you see this new Amazon thing?
Samsung makes a new watch right now that does that.
I saw that. So. Did you see the new Amazon too? You can talk to someone, customer service 24/7, just from the tablet, camera to camera.
I think what would Mario do would be great bracelets.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah. We're going to start using that. So, first thing I want to do, we're going to get started. We have two dips we're going to make today for Super Bowl Sunday. Both of them can be found in my cookbook. And something we're going to offer really quickly. My cookbook is originally $32.99 is the price, or $32.95 is the price. But for this hour only, up until 10 o'clock, while we're on the air, I'm going to offer it for $25.
Cool.
So if anyone wants to get a copy for $25, it's only available till we're off the air. You have to call in, talk to Mike Sackley, give him your name, your address, your phone number, and then I will call you back throughout the week to finalize details.
Did you clear this with Mike before you did this?
We talked.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure here.
So, like I said, just while we're on the air,
Bill.
He drives a hard bargain. If you call while we're off the air, it doesn't count. Unfortunately, if you're listening to the podcast, it doesn't count. But we will take care of the podcast listeners with something later. Right. We'll come up with something else.
The other thing is Mario mentioned last week's show. He's updated the shop, and you can buy it. And here's the new Just Cook It T-shirt.
I'm wearing mine.
He's wearing his. I just got mine this morning, and it has Just Cook It on the front of it, and it has the logo and the web address on the back end of it. So if you'd like one of these, go to the website, click on the link that says shop, and take care of it from there.
And there's also hoodies, long sleeve T-shirts, women's hoodies, kids. There's even a baby's onesie.
I saw that.
And cell phone cases. Yes. And soon to come within the next week, hats.
Which I'm looking forward to that. The other thing real quick is someone had caught me the other night. Actually, last night I was at a basketball game. And he said, "Why didn't you tell me you were at the big barn?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I was watching you on TV. If I would have known you were there, I would have said Jingle Bells and won the free ham." And he says, "Is there any way we can find out where you guys are at?" And there is a calendar on the website of any future appearances or anything that Mario and I are doing related to the show, so you can check out to see where we're going to be. And we always mention it here on the radio, too.
Yes, very true. So, the phone numbers, if you're wondering, you can call in and chat with us. You can call in and talk to Mike about the book. 724-438-4593 locally. Again, 724-438-4593. And if you're listening online and want to give us a buzz, 855-590-0590. Again, 855-590-0590 is toll free.
And I think we should use that 724 number as the famous person hotline, because I'm still waiting for John Stamos Bob Saget, Dave Collier.
You were really tweeting them this week.
Candace Cameron, the Olsen twins. Let's see.
Aunt Becky.
Becky, Lori Loughlin, and whoever played Stephanie to call the program in the third segment because we're doing our yogurt taste testing this morning.
Yes.
And I think we need we need them because we have been reaching out to them all week. They were on Good Morning America. They were on Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
They have been everywhere. They need to be here.
Yeah, well, we're the big time.
That's what I thought. But heck with them.
Yeah, you do all those other shows to get to us.
Yeah. So, but if you're famous, give us a call to either number and just let us know.
And so see what you miss if you don't follow us on Twitter. It is the year of the Twitter, and this is what we do all week long. Bill tweets famous people. I tweet Bill. He ignores me. So we go back and forth. And Mike just reads everything and laughs and thinks about how pathetic we are.
Yeah, I'm just kind of here,
So we're going to get started with this first recipe. Now, like I said, Super Bowl time. If you read my column from the Herald Standard on Thursday, it was my top 5 Super Bowl foods.
Yeah.
And my number 3 food was dips.
Okay.
So we're going to do some dips today. I love dips for the Super Bowl. Hot dips. We're going to do one cold dip and one hot dip. And the great thing about dips are you can make them ahead of time. And you just, either this dip, the cold dip, it gets better as it sits. Okay. So if you make it 2 days ahead, it's going to taste even better on Super Sunday. Unfortunately, tomorrow is the Super Bowl, so you have to make it tonight. But it's a very simple recipe to follow. And then the warm dip, again, you can make that tonight. And then it's made in a crock pot. You plug your crock pot back in tomorrow to reheat it.
Right.
Game over, done deal. So the first dip we're going to make, this is actually one of my favorite recipes from the cookbook. It's a roasted shallot and blue cheese dip.
Okay.
So first thing I have here, these are roasted shallots that I chopped. So I'll show the camera here. And basically they're just slow roasted. Coat them in olive oil, salt and pepper, put them in a pan, wrap it with foil in an oven, 250 degrees, and then just monitor them. And then for about the last, what I do is I let them go for about an hour.
Okay.
And then I take the foil off, crank the oven up to 350, and then finish them for like another 45 minutes or so. So they take time, but to really develop the flavor and caramelize the sugar. So you want the outside to be golden brown, and you want it to be nice and soft. And they get really, really sweet, and they're really delicious. So then you just take them out and chop them up. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have here. So what I'm going to add to this, I got some mayonnaise. Okay, and you obviously want to have your shallots chilled. You pull them out of the oven, chill them, and then cut
this
them.
Is real mayonnaise. This isn't Miracle Whip. This isn't anything like that.
I do not do Miracle Whip. So if you ever hear me use mayonnaise, it's always the real deal. Because
what, Miracle Whip is one step away from plastic, or what?
Yeah, and to be honest, that's one thing that's scary. It's but true. To be honest, too, I never really acquired the taste for it. Yeah, I didn't. I grew up on Hellmann's. Yeah, and that's what I use. Sour cream. Okay. This isn't the low fat version. This is the full, because it's the Super Bowl.
This is the high fat version.
Yeah, it's the full. I think it's 4% milk fat. Okay. But it's the Super Bowl, and I love sour cream. It's one of those things that aside from
with that New Year's resolution of losing weight.
What is that all about?
Yeah. Not on the Super Bowl, all right?
I guess.
Okay, so as I get stuff all over me, what we're going to now add to this, I have this ranch packet here. Okay, you can buy this at the local supermarket.
Right.
Super simple.
And it's made by Hidden Valley. Yeah. Give them the props.
You open it up, and you dump it in. Okay,
and that's it.
That's hard, huh?
Hey, I can handle that one.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to season it with a little touch of cayenne. Okay. And what that's going to do is just give it, you don't want a ton of it because it's just this spicy. Right. Just like a boom, 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 done. Okay. And now what I like to do is we're going to fold all this together, and then we're going to add some blue cheese to this.
Okay. No tossing this week?
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay. I'm ready for it. I really am.
Maybe later. Okay. So I'm just going to take my spatula here and just fold this all together. And this is really, like I said, a really simple dip, but it's really delicious. Think almost like the sour cream and onion stuff you buy at the store. Very similar, but it's a little more
Is this
refined,
one of those dips that you'll get a craving for at 2 o'clock in the morning? You don't understand why?
Yeah, I do, to be honest.
I like dips like that.
And this, another thing about this, even though, you use the regular sour cream and the mayonnaise, you still know what's in it. You made it. There's nothing in it unless that if you get the all natural stuff or whatever, there's nothing in it you can't pronounce. Put it that way.
Now, the one thing you and I have talked about this before in the program when we were talking with Chobani and even Stonyfield. Could you use yogurt to substitute in your If you want to make it healthier, you can use yogurt.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I would use plain.
Plain yogurt?
Yep, just use plain yogurt.
The chocolate bites just wouldn't do it?
I don't think you want coffee and chocolate chips in this. But, so, Bill, I know you like blue cheese.
I love blue cheese.
Do you want a piece before I put it in?
I love blue cheese.
And then we're just going to dump it all in. Why not? The more the merrier, right? This is actually gorgonzola. Yeah. Like I said, I prefer gorgonzola.
And the thing is that we started buying gorgonzola after, I forget what you made last time, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, I prefer gorgonzola. It's creamier. Mm-hmm. It's got a little more of that blue cheese taste.
It's really bad when I can go, and I get cravings for blue cheese, and get the container out of the refrigerator and get 2 spoonfuls and eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And so, believe it or not, I would even eat this on a salad.
I could see. I was just going to ask you about that because it looks like it'd make a good dressing.
But it's really good with chips.
Yeah.
So, and that's all she wrote for this. I'm going to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
I mean, but you don't need much because you have that ranch packet in there and the blue cheese. So I'm just going to add a little touch of salt. And that's it. I mean, it's that simple. It's something that you can really whip up.
That looks good.
Yeah. And then we'll take this, and I'll hand this over your way.
Okay.
If you want to grab that for a second. I'm going to grab some chips, and you guys can start snacking.
While we can eat during the show, is what you're saying?
What is this newfound concept?
Like we never feed you.
Yeah.
I'm going to toss these to you.
Wait, where's Von Venko at? He should be here right now, too.
He's waiting for his Swiss steak. We're going to have to do that soon.
Yeah, I know. Do you need this spatula back?
Eventually.
Okay.
Here. We'll use it to serve some plates.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're not going to be heathens here. We're going to actually put it on plates.
That was a nice toss, huh? I just
frisbee
to paper plate to Mike. Went right to
here,
him.
Mike, go ahead. Don't get it all over the logs. Brian won't be happy with you.
Okay, so that's that dip. Very simple. Again, the recipe you can get at justcookit.net. And also in my cookbook, The Good, the Bad, the Cookbook, which is available for a low price of $25
That's
today
really
only.
Good. That really is, and I just have it on my pinky.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Good.
Super simple, but really delicious.
So right now it's time for us to take our first break.
Yes.
We got the first dip out of the way.
Yes.
Now we have the second dip, and we have a yogurt tasting contest.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Don't touch that radio dial. We have a lot more coming up on Just Cook It Radio today. We got another dip, a warm dip that we're gonna make coming up now, and then we're gonna taste. We have a whole plethora of yogurt with us, and I'll explain that later. That'll be our third segment, so you don't want to go anywhere. And Just Cook It is served up to you today by the Big Barn Country Store and Deli, by Pareca Chiropractic Center Inc., by 4th Street Barbecue, by the Herald Standard, and on FCTV by Phil Giannetti Motors.
And you're watching Just Cook It on Fayette TV channel 77 and also at justcookit.tv. And you're listening to Just Cook It on the Just Cook It Radio Network and on your flagship station, 590 Radio WMBS. Phil Giannetti Motors at 656 National Pike East in Brownsville is a proud sponsor of programming on FCTV. Phil Giannetti Motors providing quality vehicles for 45 years. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, give Phil Giannetti's a call at 724-785-6800 or stop by their website, philgiannettymotors.com.
Good to have you back. You're listening to Just Cook It Radio on the Just Cook It Radio Network and on your local station, 590 Radio WMBS, and also on FCTV channel 77 at justcookit.tv. And I am Mario Pareca. Bill Alexander's here. Mike Sackley's across the desk diving into some dip.
Diving is a good word for it.
Some roasted shallot and blue cheese dip. What do you guys think?
I'm really bummed out now. I forgot the shiners this morning. This would have been excellent with that.
I'm bummed out times 5.
Mike doesn't even need dip. He just wants shiners. But so the next dip we're going to do is we're going to make a spicy hot sausage and 5 cheese dip. Now, if you saw my column from September in the Herald Standard, this is what I made. But
I did see that.
It's the perfect football food. So I thought that, I've made this on, I would say, almost every television station that I've visited.
Oh, really?
Which is about 5. And I've made this for the Herald Standard. Now we're going to make it on Just Cook It Radio because I can't think of a better food for football, tailgating, the Super Bowl. So we're going to share that with you right here, and it's also available in the cookbook. So,
do I see a hunk of Velveeta there?
You do.
Hey!
Yes. And I made sure that
you were able to find Velveeta during the Velveeta shortage?
Believe it or not, when I was at the supermarket, they only had the 1-pound blocks.
Really?
Usually they come in, 2-pound blocks,
Right.
I believe. Yeah, they didn't have any of those left other than the the one I think it's 1% or
Yeah,
low
why would
fat
you
or
buy
whatever.
it? I mean,
yeah,
of all things.
but I only needed a pound. So what we're gonna do to start this off, I have in this bowl I have hot sausage.
Can we call that groundhog?
Yeah, well, it is pig, which is a hog, and it's ground. So
okay.
yeah,
Is
ground hog.
Is that Punksy in there right now, Mark?
Now, would you say if we're calling hot, no comment. If we're calling hot sausage groundhog,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be groundhog. It'd be groundhog, right? Because it's not a
okay.
groundhog,
Yeah.
but it's groundhog.
Hog, yeah.
Do you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
But we could call it that. So we have our hot sausage here. Okay, you just get the bulk hot sausage.
I want to edit this out so I can send it to Good Morning America tomorrow morning so we can say we made the groundhog on the show.
Groundhog dip.
Yeah.
What?
We're
Sorry,
tying
guys.
two festive occasions together.
Yeah.
One in Punxsy, one in New York, not very far apart.
We're gonna get arrested
Yes,
tonight.
we are.
I hope no one steals Punxsy tonight. I really do, because. So anyway, we have our hot sausage here in the bowl. Bulk hot sausage. You can buy it at the supermarket. Don't buy the stuff in the casing. It just unless you want to take the
it apart.
casing off.
Yeah.
You can buy it like this. What I have in this bowl, I've got some diced red bell pepper, diced green bell pepper, diced sweet onion, and diced celery.
Okay.
And we're just
A
gonna
lot of
dump
dicing.
Dump it right in with the
Very colorful.
sausage.
It looks like you dumped in the Italian flag is what it looked like.
Hey, paisan.
Yeah.
So what else we're going to do now? A little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Right over it. Okay. Just a touch. And then I have some Cajun seasoning here. You can buy it at the supermarket. I use Paul Prud'homme's Fat Man. Okay.
Okay.
You can buy it anywhere, mostly anywhere. So we're just going to add that in there.
They did a marketing push up here about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I like Paul Prud'homme.
And I got a couple of the containers that they handed out. There was actually a car race going through Uniontown, and it was part of they were one of the sponsors, and it's actually pretty good.
It's really good stuff, and they
Yeah.
make it in for anything. They make poultry. It's called Magic. Paul Prud'homme's Magic seasoning blends. They make poultry magic, meat magic, seafood magic, vegetable magic. You know.
I'm waiting for the Magic AP number 7.
It's. I have a 50-pound box in the back
Do
of my
you
car.
really?
If you want, yeah.
And for those of you that don't understand, Mario actually developed his own seasoning, and the holdup has been
Getting it bottled.
getting it bottled. He has it in bulk. It's now bottling it and distributing it.
So if you or anyone you know is a co-packer,
That or meet him behind the dumpster in the back. I'll be
There you
handing
go.
out. Never mind.
yeah,
In Happy Meals.
that's not even right.
Anyhow,
First Phil, now this. We're getting too racy. Next.
Mike needs to reel us back. I mean, that's,
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
And Mike, if you saw the Doritos commercial, the hole in the wall trick to
Yeah.
clean your fingers, it only works with Doritos, not with those
Yeah,
chips
not
you're
with these
eating.
chips, yeah.
So, because I noticed you had a little in the back there.
Yes.
Okay, so now we got our vegetables and sausage all mixed together. I'm going to turn on our burner here to about medium heat, and we're just going to brown this off.
You know how tough it is to have a live mic open, a plate of chips, and dip in front of me, and trying to talk and chew without crunching too loud?
Multitasking.
Yes, it's...
Takes a lot of experience and talent.
When I got that degree in college, this is not one of the
They
things
didn't prepare
taught.
you
No,
for this?
they did not.
They didn't have a how to eat chips on the air class?
Where's Marcy Blout when I need her?
There's your...
Actually, no, I'm going after Dave Hartle. I think it's his fault.
There's your
I'm
seminar.
going back to junior high.
There's your seminar for PodCamp next year. PodCamp Pittsburgh.
How to chew on
That's
air.
right.
I'll do the demo with my students first.
So let me teach you how to eat chips live on the air.
That
Yeah,
or
just
just
sat it all day. So
never mind. You know.
now that we have our sausage in our
That
pan.
smells good.
We're gonna brown this off. And what I have here in front of Bill
Is a crock pot.
crock pot, and it's turned on high. It's preheating. So you always want to preheat your crock pot before you use it. Okay, just like anything else. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump this Velveeta right in there.
Okay.
Okay, did you hear it? Thud?
Slam!
Dump it forcefully in the crock pot. It makes a big difference.
So I see there's a bowl of cheese sitting
Yes.
over there. Why are you using cheese and Velveeta?
It's a 5 cheese dip.
Oh, well, that
so
makes sense.
Velveeta, if you want to put that lid back on,
Yeah, I
we're just
wanna
going to
do
let
that.
that go for a few minutes. Velveeta gives it its creaminess,
Okay.
its texture, and these cheeses really give it its flavor. So what I have in this bowl, and I'll show the camera here, some shredded sharp cheddar cheese,
Okay.
some shredded mozzarella, some Asiago, grated Asiago, and some shredded fontanella.
Fontanella. What's fontanella?
Fontanella is a cow's milk cheese. It's it gets confused with fontina a lot, but it's different. Fontina is actually made in Italy.
I got you.
Okay, and they age it for I believe 4 months. I believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I have to look that up again to get the exact number, but I know they're aged differently. One's aged 2 months, one's aged 4 months.
Gotcha.
And this is made in the United States.
Okay.
Fontanella is a United States cheese. It's a little harder than fontina. Fontina's creamier.
Okay.
Fontanella is like I would compare it to almost think of a higher end block cheese.
Okay.
Like if you're having a party and you put out a cheese platter, like cheese cubes.
Okay.
Fontanella comes in it won't be cubed, it comes in a wheel. They make it in a wheel. So you can buy usually wedges of it at the supermarket, but it's that type of cheese that you would cut and eat with crackers.
Gotcha. Oh, that makes sense.
So we have a varying assortment of cheese textures and flavors here. And that's kind of the idea. We want a whole bunch of cheesy goodness. So we're going to let that Velveeta just get a head start. And what I would do if I was making it at home is I would cut it into pieces, into like a large dice.
Cube it.
It'll help it melt better and get it started a little better. And, like I said, you can make this ahead of time. You can make this the night before. You could if you want to have this at your Super Bowl party tomorrow, which I highly recommend, you can make it tonight, take the insert out of your crock pot, put it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow drop it back in and heat it back up.
And for those of you watching on TV, you keep seeing me getting up and down. That's so I can adjust the camera so you can actually see what he's doing in the frying pan.
Yeah, so we're just going to brown that off.
Is it a frying pan or is it a skillet?
I call it a saute pan.
Okay, fine, fancy.
We're just gonna, like I said,
that's what college does for you, right?
Apparently, it doesn't teach you how to eat in front of a microphone.
No, it doesn't.
So, well, at least I learned
I've been drinking
something.
Coffee on the air for years. At least I know how to do that.
Did we finally? I think we finally did it.
You popped the breaker.
I think so.
Uh-oh.
You plug more than one thing. Can you push that button on there?
I can. Where's it at? There it is.
There we go.
There we go. Nope, no, we don't.
Oh, well. Okay, so.
It's now make-believe time.
Yeah.
There we go.
What you're going to do is you're going to brown off your sausage, okay?
Right.
Once it's browned off. Now, what I would do is take the lid off of there.
Thank goodness. Are we still on the air? That's the question.
We're going to dump. Someone call and let us know. We don't get any calls. So we dump the rest of our cheese in our crock pot.
Okay.
So after the Velveeta melts for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
It won't be melted. It won't be a liquid mess. It'll just be softened.
Right.
So then you dump your cheese in.
Oh, we're back on.
Okay. So we dump your cheese in. Yes, we are back on.
That's a good thing Mike ran out real quick and reset the breaker.
Mike's always Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
The big bucks.
You plug more than one thing in.
Yeah.
And I've had this issue many a time.
We've
had it in the
We've had it at the Uniontown Mall. We've had it at well, actually, you set smoke alarms off at the studio. Let's see, what else have you done?
Let me tell you about my first television appearance.
Okay.
Or how I got the gig, actually. I used to do, when I first started and I first had the cookbook in development, I wanted to do some pre-promotion.
Right.
So on my own dime, I would rent out, in Belle Vernon, there's a hotel, I would rent out the banquet room, and I would do cooking demos. So I would just go out and hit the town with flyers and invite people and see. And I used to get some pretty nice little crowds.
Really?
And there was a lot of repeat people. So the second one I ever did, I have the same equipment. I'm doing my thing. Right at the beginning, everything goes off. All the electricity's gone. So I'm panicking. I mean, I didn't. I just kept going, and because that's what I was taught to do. You just don't stop.
Right. You don't stop.
And it was just a complete disaster. We finally got the electricity back on about an hour later, so I start trying to cook again. Well, I talked to the hotel ahead of time. Apparently, the message didn't come across because they didn't turn off the fire alarm. So the smoke alarm goes off, the fire trucks show up. It was bad. So after the thing was over, I'm just completely and utterly embarrassed and humiliated. A family friend who I didn't know at the time, who knew my family, comes up to me afterwards and goes, "You know what? Even though it didn't work," because I was like apologizing to everyone. She's like, "Even though it didn't work, it didn't go well. We had a lot of fun, and you really kept your cool. And I felt bad for you, but you did such a great job. I work for KDKA. Do you want to do Pittsburgh Today Live sometime? Because think about it. I'd love to see what you can do when everything works." So, and that was actually Morel, the lady from Facebook that you're friends with.
She's
very
in
nice
Florida
lady.
now, right?
Yeah, she's in Florida now. And that's how the first TV gig came about.
And I'm understanding you're going to be working with Raina sometime in the near future.
It's in the works, yep. The talks are happening, put it that way.
That's kind of cool. You actually may see Mario on Pittsburgh Today Live again.
Yes.
Do we have to be really nice to John Burnett and invite him on the show first?
I like John Burnett.
I do too.
John Burnett's a great guy. I mean, the last time I was at KDK and did Pittsburgh Today Live, he did the segment with me. Professional, fun. We had some laughs afterwards. Okay, so we got our sausage working here. Now look at how much better it looks when we have heat.
It smells good,
when the electricity works.
You gonna talk now so I can eat my chips?
Go ahead, eat your chips. So as Bill eats his chips, I'm gonna throw the phone numbers out again one more time. If you want to call in, tell us your prediction of the game if you'd like. Well, I heard we had a lot of calls for that earlier.
Yeah, the chair's already been decided upon.
Does Mike really?
Well, not for the chair, just for your pride.
Yeah, for pride.
724-438-4593 is the local number, and 855-590-0590 is toll free. Give us a call.
And if you're a famous person,
yes,
call us.
Even if you're the only one that thinks you're famous.
If you like yogurt,
yes. If you know what yogurt is, if you've ever seen yogurt in your life.
If you're Jamie Lee Curtis, I'll even have you on the show.
Yeah. Okay, so now our sausage is browned off.
Anybody that knows Jamie Lee Curtis, I'll have you on the show.
So our sausage is browned off. We're going to dump it right in our crock pot with our cheeses.
There you go. And the phone's ringing. It may be Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie, I've been thinking about you for a long time.
I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite movies.
So we're going to mix our
Tony, I loved your dad Tony in that movie. It was wonderful.
We're going to mix our crock pot up, and then when Mike leaves, anything goes.
Yeah,
we're like
exactly
unsupervised.
right.
So we're going to season this now. I've got some celery salt,
Hurry up,
some
lock the door.
chili powder, some sea salt, and some white pepper. So we're going to go ahead and season this. Just a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of salt.
Now, I question for you. We've been talking about AP number 7. We were talking about the other stuff. When
chili
they call
powder
for seasoning salt in a recipe,
yes,
do you make your own or do you use something that's pre-bought?
I use AP number 7.
Well, of course you do. But if you didn't have AP number 7,
you can just use pre-bought. I mean, it's just for what you're going to make. It's just easier.
Because
cheaper.
I actually know one that actually called for that Lowry's seasoning salt.
Yes,
and that's really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's good stuff.
So
it's good on popcorn.
Yes, I've had that on popcorn before.
So do we have a caller? Or
well,
did you just need a break? Or?
Yes, I went outside, Mario.
No, a cigarette.
That was a fast cigarette.
Cigarette shiner, you know.
Yeah.
But no, there was a lady that called and wanted you to go over the recipe for that first dip we did.
Oh, okay.
When you get a chance.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Or let them know where you can find it.
Absolutely. Well, you can find these recipes. They're already posted online at justcookit.net. So if you go to justcookit.net, on the top of the menu, there's a tab that says recipes. If you mouse over that, it'll come into a drop-down menu. If you click on show recipes, it lists every show recipe that we've done up to this point on the show, and the one at the very top of the list will be today's. So you can click on that right this very second and get the recipes. So what we did was we added our brown sausage with all our vegetables to our crock pot with our cheese, and we're going to let this go on high for 45 minutes. Okay? And we're going to
Does Von Benko know?
Yeah. Mike, why don't you give him a call?
I'm sure he's outside right now, yeah.
Is that, well, you just went out there. You can go again. But 45 minutes, and then what we're going to do is I have some beef stock.
Okay.
So after 45 minutes, and I stir it every few minutes, give it a stir just to make sure it's not burning or anything, and to make sure it's melting evenly. And if the sausage, it depends on what kind of sausage you get. If your sausage is a little fattier and it renders more as it cooks in the crock pot, you'll see some fat come to the surface. You can just take a spoon and skim it off because you don't want a whole lot of fat in there. But what's going to happen is it's going to look, after 45 minutes, it's going to look a little thick.
Gotcha.
And it's going to be melted, but it's going to look stringy and thick. When you add that beef stock in there and you mix it together, you got to make sure when you add that beef stock, you really mix it together well. It's going to smooth it out. It's going to be nice and creamy. And this is one of my favorite dips because not only is it great with like tortilla chips or crackers. I love those pretzel crackers with it.
Oh, that'd be
but
good.
you can also put it on burgers. You can put it on
that'd be a
hot
good
dogs.
idea.
You can put it on French fries. It's like an all-purpose cheese dip with sausage, so it goes on pretty much everything, and I just love it. It's great for the Super Bowl because, you know, you can use it for all your different foods. You can use it as a dip. You
Right.
can use it as a topping, you know.
Sit a crock pot out, put a ladle in it, and let them go wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to garnish that at the end, and we have one over there, Bill.
Yeah.
If we'll grab that.
You want to
During
grab
break.
it now or during the break?
During the break, we'll grab that. We have one that's already made. I'll show you how to garnish that. And do you want to take our final break
Let's
right
take
now?
it now, and then we can do that, and then we can do our yogurt.
Yes, so don't touch that radio dial. When we get back, we are going to try our sausage and 5 cheese dip, and then it's yogurt time. So we've got all kinds of different yogurts we're going to be tasting, Mike Sackley included, and we're going to see which brand is the best.
Yep, sounds
so
good to me.
Don't touch that radio dial. Just Cook It is served up to you today by the Big Barn Country Store and Deli, by Prague Chiropractic Center Inc., by 4th Street Barbecue, by the Herald Standard, and on FCTV by Phil Gianetti Motors.
And you're watching Just Cook It on Fayette TV Channel 77 and also at justcookit.tv. And you're listening to Just Cook It Radio on the Just Cook It Radio Network and on your local station, 590 Radio, WMBS. Phil Gianetti Motors at 656 National Pike East in Brownsville is a proud sponsor of programming on FCTV. Phil Gianetti Motors providing quality vehicles for 45 years. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, give Phil Gianetti's a call at 724-785-6800 or stop by their website, philgianettimotorz.com.
Good to have you back. You're listening to Just Cook It on the Just Cook It Radio Network and our flagship station, WMBS 590. And
You know, if we were actually doing a TV program for one of the food networks, we'd have time to switch between commercial breaks.
I know, I'm out of breath. We just made a mad dash to change the set. So for those of you on
Change the
TV, you're
set.
welcome.
And why people locally don't want to do live TV anymore is beyond me. It's more fun this way.
Oh, this is great.
I remember the days we used to do live TV. How about you?
Yeah.
I threw a band out one night. Do you remember that?
I remember that. That was fun. That was the day. That was the episode I got to cook the entire
Yes,
show.
that's right.
Instead of just my segment. So
That was right before we decided to do this interesting
So I'm going to show you this.
endeavor.
I want you to read it in case my mother's listening.
It is organic, diced tomatoes.
There you go.
Bought at the Big Bird.
This is what we are going to garnish with, or dip. This is how I like to do it. What you're hearing is me opening the can.
No electric can opener here. We don't need no
No.
stinking electric can
No,
opener.
we do it the old-fashioned way.
You know I don't have an electric can opener in my house.
I don't either.
My wife will not let me buy one.
So I like to top it with some diced tomatoes. I would drain these if I was doing them at home. Drain the liquid off, but
Okay.
a little bit won't hurt us here.
Pour it in the garbage can. They won't notice.
Pour it on the floor.
That's what you did last. I mean, what was that? That oil that we cooked from something. You did that.
And I also like to add a little snip chive, or either snip chive or these are scallions. I have some really
Scallions.
some minced scallions on top to give it a little color, a little greenage, and just a little flavor. And there you go, boys.
That looks good. It really does. And then for those of you seeing it at home, let me tilt it up to the camera here.
And guess what else
It looks
I have?
very appetizing. You have chips.
Oh,
Scoops.
I have, you know, I have an affinity for scoops.
Yes, I do.
So
good stuff.
you guys can go ahead. And do you need another plate?
Nah,
Yes, I need one.
Why did you make a mess?
Oh, I'm a mess.
You're high maintenance, Mike.
I'm
You know
just a
that?
mess in general.
Here, put some on there for him because
Okay.
I'm not. No, put your plate back.
Give me a plate, Mike. Come on, don't you want to eat?
Like I said, a mess.
I don't want to deal with the crock pot over the console.
Brian would love that, huh?
That would be very bad.
Give him a little more. And throw
Where's
some
that
chips
ladle
on
that I
there.
suggested?
Oh, I do have a ladle.
Well, too late now.
Yeah, let's keep it clean. Okay, so that's our dip, our spicy sausage and 5 cheese dip, and you'll hear the verdict in just a minute when Mike
There you go.
dives in.
I'm going to try a little bit here. Hey, real quick question for you as
Yes.
we do this, and I'm scooping this out. Have you heard about the owner of Whole Foods, what he's proposed doing in some of his areas that he's at? He's going to basically, food has expiration dates on it, or sell-by dates. He is going to open a store up that basically what it does is sell those products that are just past the expiration or sell-by dates, because they're saying there's a lot of wasted food in the country.
If he can make it work, good for him.
Well, according to him, they think they can. So I think it's kind of interesting to do that. And when I saw the market district on there, that's what.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand is those expiration dates. That doesn't mean on that day the food gets bad.
Right.
Okay. It means that eat it by this day for its peak flavor.
That's really good.
It's great on burgers, fries, you name it. So we got our 2 dips here, and this is what you can party with for the Super Bowl. That is great with beer.
You know what? That tastes really familiar.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I used to make some. My aunt did, and she would put it on a little rye bread, and she would put it in the oven, toast it in the oven. It tastes just like this.
Yeah,
I wonder if it was the same thing. That is really good.
Well, this is my recipe that
that's really good.
Came up with, so it can't be exactly the same, but it's probably close, similar ingredients.
Very good.
So,
it's one of those things that you taste once, it's like, hey, I've had this before.
Yes, deja vu all over again, like
really
you both said. Anyway, time to taste some yogurt. We've been touting this all week, and Bill, this was your idea. You know, I'm a Greek yogurt fan. I eat Greek yogurt probably every day. I eat it all the time.
This is a guy that never had yogurt until last May.
Yeah, you. And so you were looking at the Twitter, because we are all on the Twitter, at Bill Alexander, at Mario Perek, at Mike Sackley, at Just Cook It Radio. That's where you can find us on the Twitter. And
I made a comment last week's show that Dan and Oikos has brought back the guys from Full House.
Yes.
Because John Stamos is their national spokesperson. And I figured, what the heck? They made a big reunion thing about them coming back together. They were on Jimmy Fallon playing the parts of Dad and Uncle and Joey and Uncle Jesse and the whole thing. And I figured, why not get them on our show? We've talked to Chobani, we talked to Stonyfield, we've talked to these places before. Why not do our own yogurt tasting tests? So we reached out to Yoplait, and Yoplait thought it was a wonderful idea. And then it fell on deaf ears from everybody else.
So, what I did was, we want to taste all these different brands of yogurts and see which one we prefer. So what we have here, I have 4 major brands. We have Chobani.
Yeah.
We have Yoplait Greek.
Okay.
We have Oikos, which is made by Dannon.
Yeah.
And we have Fage Total.
Okay.
Okay.
Fage, is that how you pronounce it?
That's how you say it, Fage.
I thought it was Fage. No, seriously, I did.
No, it's pronounced Fage.
Or like, it's F-A-G-E, right?
Yeah, but it's pronounced
Page?
Fage.
It'd be Fage. Whatever. Okay, I'll believe you.
Trust me, it's pronounced Fage.
I just offended a whole yogurt company.
So, what I did was, we have 4 of the same flavor. Now, the one that they use in their thing is blueberry, but I wanted to be a little different, so I like cherry.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 1 of each flavored cherry.
Yeah, let me move
now,
this over.
To keep things on a level playing field, I have 1 of each plain. Now, sadly, I could not find Yoplait in plain.
Why not?
So I got vanilla in Yoplait.
Okay.
I went to 3 different supermarkets and no one had plain Yoplait Greek. So Yoplait, if you're listening, get on the
plain,
plain. And then we have 4 wild cards. Okay, 1 of each. It's just a different flavor that I thought was interesting that we can try.
Right.
So, which one do you want to start with?
I think we'd start with the cherry.
Okay.
So we can
you want to start with Chobani?
Sure. Our friends at Chobani.
Yeah. So here's a spoon for you, Bill.
Do they have an unfair advantage because we know them?
What's that?
Do they have an unfair advantage because we know them? We've had them on the show. Okay.
This is a level playing field.
I'm just making sure.
We're gonna run out of spoon, so we may have to double dip a bit.
No, paper towels work.
There you go. Okay, so I got this mixed up.
Do we have anything to cleanse our palate with? Yogurt.
Yeah.
We have. What, don't they use plain yogurt to cleanse the palate? As I pass this across the mic.
Good. So here's the Oikos. I do. Now, one thing I like about Yoplait...
Chobani. I like Chobani.
Yeah. One thing I like about Yoplait, they make certain flavors that are already blended. So all of these are yogurt.
Mix it up.
Yeah, these are all yogurt on the bottom, which means you have to mix them up. And for those of you who haven't listened to our previous yogurt shows, Greek yogurt's a little thicker. It's higher in protein. It's creamier. So we use this as the mixing spoon.
So, Mike, are you a yogurt person?
I do.
You have to turn it on.
Is, yeah. I do like yogurt, yeah. I like the black cherry one especially. That's my favorite go-to one.
The Chobani is good. The Chobani is good.
Oikos is a little different.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. How different is a little different? I'll find out in just a second, I guess.
I think Oikos is a little, because Chobani's the all-natural,
Yeah.
so it actually has chunks of cherry in it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Oikos almost tastes more like a jam, like a cherry jam in the bottom of it.
Tastes sweeter.
Sweeter.
But I like the consistency. I like that texture of that.
And here's the Yoplait.
I like the Oikos, yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Yoplait, when I was a young tyke,
Yeah.
Yoplait was my favorite. Not the Greek.
Regular
Yoplait. They used to make that's where I fell in love with banana, because Yoplait made a banana. You know, they came in like those skinny, taller containers with a foil on top and the banana one. I loved it. And it seems like to me, I mean, I could be wrong. You guys tell me. You're going to taste it here. It seems like Yoplait is a little bit creamier, a little. I want to say lighter and creamier.
It looks a little bit thinner too, compared to the consistency of the other ones. There we go, Mike.
And then, now this one's interesting.
Okay. That's good. I like that.
Fage is interesting because it comes in this little contraption here that's separated.
That's good.
So for those of you watching on TV, this is what it looks like when you open it. You get your jam or your jelly or flavor on one side and your yogurt on the other. This is plain yogurt. And this is, so what you do is you take this and you flip it and squeeze it.
Okay. So in other words, it's plain yogurt, and then you mix the flavoring in with it.
You flip it, you squeeze it.
Is there a reason why that? Is that just a marketing ploy? Wrong spoon?
Well, no, this isn't. This is the stirring spoon.
Okay.
This Fage, you'll notice, is thicker than all of them.
Okay.
It's richer, it's thicker, and I think that's.
Have you tried this already? Is that what you're telling us?
I've tried Fage before. I've tried pretty much every yogurt before. I haven't tried the cherry. How much time do we have?
We got 3 minutes.
Okay, so we'll give that a mix. Here you go. You can try that one. Fage, and it is. You can tell it's like hard to get off the spoon because it's thicker.
It's thicker. We need a conveyor belt between us, Mike.
And it's heavier. It almost is like a yogurt sour cream hybrid, if you will. You get that?
Yeah.
Probably my least favorite of the four so far.
Are we going through all of them, or are we just going to...
Let's hit the planes real quick.
Yeah, real quick, because can I tell you what my favorite is of the four that we just had?
Who won the cherry?
Yoplait did.
I'm in agreement.
Number 2 was Oikos. Number 3 was Chobani, and number 4 was
I'm the same way.
Fage.
Yep, Fage. Okay, so here's Oikos. Sorry, man, down. Now this isn't going to taste. Have you had plain yogurt?
I had plain yogurt. Yeah, it's a different. The first time I had it, it blew me away.
Have you ever had plain yogurt, Mike?
I don't know.
This is going to be a new experience.
Yeah, it's going to be a new experience.
Probably different, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's plain. There's nothing in it.
This is Chobani. I've had plain Chobani many times.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, that's plain yogurt.
Oh, that's what plain yogurt tastes like.
Where's that camera at?
You okay?
I need my own camera.
Now, if you notice, check this out. I'm going to show the camera this on Fage's.
Yeah.
The plane, when you open it up,
there's nothing in
got this little sheet of paper on it to keep the liquid separate from the yogurt.
I got you.
You can see.
You can drain the liquid off.
Yep. It kind of presses it down. That's why it's so thick. It's almost like, look how thick that is.
Now, what was the second one we just had? Chobani
that was Chobani, the second one.
See, the Chobani tastes better than plain so far.
Now, the Fage doesn't have an assertive aftertaste.
Yeah.
Fage plain, when you taste it, it's smoother. It's thicker, it's creamier, but it's smoother.
That's not bad. But Yoplait's going to get an unfair advantage.
Yeah, you're going to like this one better because it's vanilla. It's going to be sweeter. So we're going to disqualify them from the plain round since we couldn't find plain.
Yeah.
Yoplait.
Minute left.
And you may have swept it.
Minute left. But I honestly believe that I think...
So I agree.
Of the cherry, Yoplait, then Dannon, and then...
So that was our yogurt wars. Yeah. We picked Yoplait. Let us know what you picked. You can email us, info@justcookit.net.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, but it's vanilla. It's got sweet. So we're going to say Yoplait in the cherry, and what did we say in the plain? Fage?
Fage.
Yes. Okay, so those were our picks. We'll talk more about that. We can even revisit this next week.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. We will be back next Saturday with an all-new episode of Just Cook It. It'll be our Valentine's Day edition.
Really?
So,
are we doing chocolate?
We can do chocolate.
I think that's a great idea.
Love is in the air. Because I have a column coming out Friday in the Herald Standard that'll be Valentine's Day. So maybe we'll make what's in the column on the show next Saturday. So be sure to tune in next Saturday, 9 a.m. for more Just Cook It. Any parting words?
Nope. See you next week.
All right. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll talk to you for our Valentine's show next week. For Bill Alexander and Mike Zackley, I'm Mario Pareca. Thank you for listening to Just Cook It on the Just Cook It Radio Network and on our flagship station, your local station, 590 Radio, WMBS.
Thanks for listening to Just Cook It Radio with Mario Pareca and Bill Alexander. For more information on today's program, visit the Just Cook It website at justcookit.net. Here, you can listen to the podcast or watch Mario and Bill cook today's recipe on Just Cook It TV. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please call 855-590-0590.